Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you're listening from. It's me, Lisa, and this is Untitled, the podcast without a name. This episode is less about what's happening outside. I want to talk about what I've been doing in general, especially I want to talk about running and what running has actually taught me about life, about myself, and how it changed the way I see things and people and how I approach life in general. Sometimes I catch myself thinking, I wish I had started running earlier because running taught me something I didn't have before. Or maybe I had it somewhere, but I didn't know. It showed me that I can do hard things because I hated running. Literally, I hated running. But running showed me just because something feels hard doesn't mean you're supposed to stop. You don't quit. And that is something I didn't learn growing up. Like I said in previous episodes, I wasn't involved in sports. I never really achieved anything or had people recognizing it. And I can tell that affects you more than you realize because you never experience achievements and you don't really learn what you are capable of. So you don't build confidence and you don't build self trust. And especially when you already grow up lacking in self worth, that gap becomes even bigger. And looking back now, I truly believe sports, especially running, could have helped me a lot earlier when I was a kid or yeah, when I was growing up. But yeah, for me, it didn't start with running. It started working out in 2017 when I got into fitness and into the gym. And honestly, the reason I started was because I needed some healthy guidance. Let me frame it like that. I wanted to step away from my eating disorder because I knew I have to, right? I mean, it's nothing good. So I wanted structure and I wanted control, but in a healthy way and something that grounded me. And I think it's important to mention that like this is part of my story and I struggle with OCD and OCPD. To explain it, OCD is more about the thoughts and the mental patterns that feel intense and hard to control, and OCPD is more about the personality traits like needing structure, needing control, things being done a certain way, and like holding yourself to a very high standard, stuff like that. So for me, control and discipline and structure have always been a big part of me or a big part of how I operate. And that comes from my eating disorder, right? It wasn't there before. So for a long time, the control in everything wasn't healthy, right? It can turn into pressure, into like never feeling like something is enough. And I think that's why I was searching for something that grounds me, something that gives me direction in a healthy way. And through fitness and yoga and later running, I started learning how to channel that in a different way. So not just controlling everything, but understanding myself. I did fitness for, I don't know, 1.5 or 2 years, and then I had my second back surgery in 2017. But at some point something felt off, like going to the gym after work is already like so much, and the people around you is just, you don't want to deal with that. So I was trying to, like avoid all these things, and I tried Pilates, and I really liked it. And it's like it's a classroom, right? It's a closed room, so you can walk in and you do your stuff. But still, something was missing. And I realized I needed something else, like more internal, more spiritual in a way. And that's when I started yoga. And to be honest, yoga came into my life exactly when I needed it, but I was not open before. I mean, I needed that like way earlier, but I was not open to try. I just knew I had to fix things internally, and yeah, I didn't need more intensity. I needed awareness, and yeah, so I practiced consistently and even went to yoga teacher training at some point. I wanted to learn more about the whole yoga thing and the philosophy behind, and that phase changed a lot for me because yoga is not just movement, right? It's a philosophy. Like there's so much. It teaches you how to sit with yourself and to observe yourself and be honest with yourself. And then fast forward to 2020, COVID hit in March and everything shut down. Gym gone, classes gone, and I felt lost. I was crying literally because I didn't know what to do. So, all the yoga classes, my teacher, the yoga classes, you could join them online, but that was not the same thing. So I started to practice yoga online, and I did it myself at home in the morning. Got up at 4 a.m. Back then, and yeah, at some point I started going outside walking just to calm myself down and clear my mind. And that turned into something more. Like I started walking a lot, like at least 20,000 steps a day. And that became my safe space, I want to say. Walking became something really important. So fast forward to the end of 2022, because I was so focused on doing yoga, I felt ready again, like ready to challenge myself physically in a different way. So I went back to the gym, strength training, kettlebells training. I mean, I always needed growth. That's just who I am. I always needed growth and progress and challenge, Standing still is not an option, never been an option since I'm on this journey, right? And yeah, then in May 2023, I ran my first like real race. Like I took it really seriously, right? I mean, like I said before, I carb loaded one day before the race, which is so funny to me. And that's where running really started for me. And I will always remember that feeling after, that moment of being proud. And that was there for 2 or 3 weeks. It was amazing. Like I felt like I ran a whole marathon. It was just a 4 something mile race, like 7K. Yeah, and that feeling was new for me, but every time I needed a proud moment, I started running. So, but I mean, the feeling didn't last. Yeah. And I started chasing the next. So that made me realize I wasn't used to holding on to achievements as well, right? And I was building up mileage. Then I wanted to run a half marathon for myself. I did, you know, and running is uncomfortable. And I think that's why it is so powerful for me, because you can escape. You're there with your breath, your body, your thoughts, your pains, mentally, physically, and you learn to stay even when it's hard. So running helped me regulate myself emotionally. And yeah, sometimes that's the whole purpose of movement, not just running, right? Running teaches discipline, the real discipline for me. It is not motivation, it's not a hype. It is about consistency, showing up when you don't feel like it. It teaches patience because progress slows down. In the beginning, it's really fast. You can see you get better, but that that that's nothing. It doesn't last. And running teaches honesty. Your body knows the truth, and you cannot fake effort. You cannot fake consistency, right? And this is something I truly believe. It's not just running, it's every form of movement. It is fitness, yoga, walking, strength training, whatever you do, all of it requires showing up in practice and time and effort. You have to be invested to get something out of it, and to get better. And because of that, it teaches you a lot. But the real value is what you take into your life. Because when life gets hard, you don't always know what to do. Life is so complex. And that's where this comes in. I asked myself, how would I approach this situation as an athlete? I think it's important to understand what that means, because the approach of an athlete is not always perfection, because we know we are not perfect. It's never been like that. It's not always feeling good, it's not always winning, but the approach of an athlete is practice, showing up again and again, training, repeating, adjusting, maybe failing, trying again. And most importantly, the goal is always to get better in some kind of way. Better. Better than yesterday, better than the last time, better than your last attempt. And when you start looking at your life like that, everything changes. You stop expecting perfection from life, from yourself. I mean, more, let's say more from other people, but I mean, you always will you always try to make it perfect. That's probably like so deeply rooted in people. And instead of asking, why is this happening? You know, um, maybe the right approach is, what can I learn from this? And what's the next step? And how can I handle it? Right. So running shows you all of this through effort. And yoga, on the other side, shows you through awareness. That's why I love it so much. Both teach the same things, just in different ways. And yeah, I mean, running is not only about performance, or it's about what it teaches you. That is the thing for me. What it teaches you about yourself and about life and your mindset and your patterns and your strength and power. And if you're willing to look, you will see a lot, because it's real. It's so real. There is no filter, there is no shortcut. It is just you. It is you and what you are willing to face. So, next time you go for a run or a walk or whatever, or maybe the next time you step on your yoga mat, look at yourself. Thanks for listening. I will talk to you soon.